Hello guys, how are you? I hope you're all doing well. Okay, so now we are back. I am back again. Um, so today let's just discuss study permit application. Okay, that is the visa application. Um, I thought to do this video because you know that most of the time I do invite people to come, join us to discuss the documents they use during their visa application process, right? And most of the time they tell us the documents they used, but even after that, I get people sending me emails and text message asking, Gina, could you please tell me the documents that I need to apply for visa? So I thought to do this video so that this video will be a special video for just visa application. So if you just joined, thank you for joining me. I am Gina Amy, and this is my page. I am on Facebook, I am on TikTok, I am on YouTube as Gina Amy. So please look for me everywhere and share this video as well. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, so let's go straight into the visa application process. So when we say visa application, what is visa application? It is just you putting together your documents to apply for a visa. Okay, so now today we are just going to concentrate on the study, when you're coming as a student, okay? The things, the documents you put together to apply for your visa. To make it easy, I'm going to tell you about my own experience. When I was coming to Canada in 2015, what are some of the things that I had to present to apply for the visa? If you have just joined, kindly share this video, start tagging people so that everybody can join and learn from this. Make sure you have your book and you have a pen and you are jotting something down. Yeah, and I will say thank you so much for joining. All right, so let's go right into it. Visa application. So these are some of the documents you need to apply for a visa. You are coming as a student. Everybody's situation is different. My situation may be different from yours. Somebody who is coming with a full scholarship situation may be different from you who is coming with you're coming with no scholarship. It means you're coming to pay your tuition by yourself. Okay. Somebody who is fresh from high school situation will be different from somebody who is probably coming from the university and has worked for quite some time. Okay, so everybody's situation is different when it comes to visa application. And so we are going to broaden this, which means we are going to cut across all these category of people I have mentioned. And so let's look at the visa application. So you're applying for a visa. What are some of the things you need? What are some of the documents you need to present to apply for a visa? And mind you, before you submit your visa application, you should be very sure that, I always say in my videos, that you are providing very strong documents. You should be very confident that this these documents you have put together and you're submitting is very strong, and that you are 99% sure that you will get your visa. Okay, and when you're able to do that, there's a higher possibility that you will be successful with your visa application. Anyway, yeah, I am home. I'm on my lunch break, so yes, let's do this. As you can see, it is still snowing. I'm not sure if you can see from behind me, but yeah, it is still snowing. So the first things first, why would you even qualify to apply for a visa? So people apply for visitor's visa. Probably you're coming to Canada as a visitor, you're coming as a student. you are coming for a workshop, a conference, whatever. You're coming with a working visa. Let's now do study application. Study permit visa. Okay. So now, these are some of the documents you need. Obviously, you have got an admission from a school, so you need your letter of acceptance. These are some of the documents you need. You need a letter of acceptance. You need to show that you have gotten admission with that university, this and that, and so this is the letter to show that you have gotten admission with this particular school. Okay. Obviously, you need a passport. You need a passport to apply for a visa. Everybody needs a passport. When you're completing your IMM 294, that document, you put it on there. So your passport number is something that you need when you're applying for a visa. Yeah, admission letter. You need a receipt of your down payment. So there are schools that may require that you pay an initial deposit. Okay, mostly the initial deposit can be as low as, let's say, $500, and it can be as high as $10,000. Yes, I know somebody who paid $10,000. So everybody's situation is different, and there's other schools that you do not require to even pay money. I applied for University of Manitoba, a school in is it Montreal or Manitoba? I recently applied for a school in one of these provinces. I think Montreal or Manitoba, one of those places. And the admission came and they were not required to pay any initial deposit. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. So if you have paid, okay, you need to provide a receipt. And the receipt will obviously show that you have done a SWIFT transfer to the school, or anyhow you made payment. The bank that you paid to the school should provide you a receipt. When you do any transaction in the bank, you are provided a receipt. So you need to add that. You need a Canadian passport photo. Okay, so with that, you have to go to a good studio. Okay, you don't use your phone, like go to a proper studio, to get that photo taken. You need to provide that as well. You need a bank statement. Before we even go to the bank statement, let's just go through personally. When I was coming, what are some of the things that I provided? I provided all these things. I remember I went to pay my initial deposit in Barclays Bank. So I provided my certificate, the receipt for payment. Okay. I did a police report. Not everybody does a police report, but it's a plus if you're able to do it. I know of somebody, I have a friend who didn't do a police report, and he got his visa. Okay, so but for us, we actually came at the same time. He did not do a police report. I did a police report. Okay, so it differs. It differs from, whatever you want to do. But like I'm saying, if you're able to put all these documents together, it helps you. Okay, it helps you. Yeah, so I did a police report. Yeah, proof of funds. We'll come back to that. That and the bank statement, we'll come back to that because that is very detailed. Yes. Yeah, so if you have any assets, if you have any business, whatever, any assets that you have, you can add that to your document. Okay. So yeah, and then you need, okay, so let's go to the bank statement. But this whole application process, the most important thing is your bank statement. Let's look at this situation. A young person who has just graduated from high school and is coming to Canada. Obviously, it is not expected, or we do not expect that the person is working currently. Okay, if you are just from high school in Ghana, most of the people who just came out from high school are not working. And so in this case, it's okay if only your parents, or let's say a family member or an uncle, somebody is sponsoring you. It's okay. But let's look at my situation when I was coming. I graduated from university, and so it was, I think, just a year after university or 2 years after university, and so it was expected, or you may think that, oh, she should be working. So I remember very well that I provided some pay stub at the time. At the time, the company that I was working with, I was still in my probation period. And so it was just about 3 months probation period. And so I remember that I provided a letter, the letter the company had issued to me, that, okay, we are giving you this job. You are currently on probation for this number of months, and this is how much we are paying you. So I took that letter, I added that letter from my company. I didn't have huge money in my bank. I didn't have that. I didn't have, let's say, even 4,000 cedis, in my bank account. I didn't have that. But I provided the pay slip or the pay stub from the last 3 months working with that company. Actually, I think I worked with them for just 3 months or 4 months. Okay, so I provided the 3 months pay slip from the company and the letter that shows that I am working with this company. At the time, I was being sponsored by my parents, my mom and my dad. They were my main sponsor. So what are some of the documents that I collected from my parents? My mother has a business, okay? So my mother's business plus my father's investment and his current job statement. Those are all the things we put together to apply, for the bank statement. So let me tell you, my mother's business certificate. So now we are telling them that your parents are sponsoring you. Okay, so my mother has a business. She gave me her business certificate. She gave me her business bank details. And that was huge, like money flowing through her accounts. And it was very good. So that was what I took from my mother. Let's come to my father. At the time, my father was still working. He was taking salary every month, right? And so he gave me his, I think, 4 months or even 6 months pay stub, plus his bank accounts where he's being paid through, like where he gets his usual salary. He provided me his bank account. And at the time too, he had some investment. And so we collected the investment certificate, right? And the amount that was in that investment he had done at the time. So all these were things that I compiled together. And about my parents' document, you can add anything that is an asset. Like at the time, if you have cars, my daddy had a car, so I added that. He gave me his, the ownership agreement or whatever it's called. He provided that. My mom as well, she also provided that. A land or a house that we had, we added all those things to the document. And also, how will they know that these people you are claiming are your parents are really your parents? So at the time, I remember this is my father's, ID. I took my father's ID. These times the passport or the Ghana card, mostly they require for the Ghana card if you have it. I think it's mandatory for every Ghanaian to have the Ghana card these days. And so you have to make a photocopy of your Ghana card. So at the time, my daddy gave me his ID. I added my mom's ID. I did a photocopy of them and also my birth certificate, right? So when you look at my birth certificate, it correlates with the documents that I am providing, that these people are my family. Okay, so this is my experience. These people are my family. And also, I actually did what we call the affidavit. I did that. So I remember where I went to do this. I went to there's a place, poker trading, right? The courts, that area where they do all the typing and whatnot. Yeah. So I went to do affidavit. I printed something, and you know that when you have to write a letter of explanation why you want to come to Canada, you need to be able to convince them. And with that, whatever you write, you can put a seal on it. That is what I did at the time. That is what I did. So I wrote everything. I can see this here. So this was done in 2015. And yeah, it says, so this is from the Supreme Court of Ghana. Okay. So everything is listed down, why I want to go to school and whatnot. And it is signed by me, it is signed by my father, and it is signed by my mom. So these are some of the things you put together. I mean, that I know people who didn't go to that extent. They didn't have to do all these things that I did, but I was guided by somebody who was an agent for my school. And he told me that, Gina, these are the things you need. And so I followed what he told me, okay? And I did all of that. As you can see, this thing is sealed. This is sealed and is signed by my mom and my father. So yes, after getting everything, I went there. And also, yeah, you have to complete your form, the IMM294 forms. You complete it and you submit it. If you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, so this is what I did for mine. And so I mentioned that if you are working, let's say 30 and above, or even 25 and above, you are expected to be working. Okay, so even if somebody is your main sponsor, you should be able to prove that you have something going on with yourself. You have something doing. And so even if somebody is sponsoring you, your uncle, a family member, a friend, whoever, you in person, you also need your own bank statement. Unless it's a very young person, like I mentioned earlier, who has just graduated from high school, okay? Because we are adults. So it wouldn't look good if you do not have anything going on. So you don't have a job. So you don't have a job and you just want to leave the country. These are some of the things. I'm saying this based on personal experience. Okay, so if you are doing this, you need to be able to provide something for yourself. You need to be able to tell them that you also have something going on for yourself. Okay, and that you are not so desperate to travel. You just want to come study and come back home to impact your community. Actually, at the time, I was coming to do human resource. And I remember that in my letter, I mentioned that my mom, like our family's company, okay, our family's company, I am coming to study human resources to manage our family business. Okay, I am coming to study human resources to manage my family business. And that is what I wrote in my letter of explanation for the visa application. Right? So these are some of the things you should look at when you're applying for a visa. If you have any questions, just go on and bring your questions. Let's come to how much you need for to apply for a visa, how much bank statement you need. Let me get a pen. So now, obviously, you saw the last news. Was it in December? Around December, the news that the low income cutoff is 20,639. So people ask, how much do I need in my bank statement? The simple answer to this is it should be enough to even take care of your whole year tuition. It should be enough to take care of your whole year tuition. Okay, and even living expenses, like they mentioned, the low income cutoff now is 20,635. Let's do the calculation. Okay, so guys, let's do this. Let's do this together. Let's say you're coming to do a 1-year program or a 2-year program. Let's use maybe, how much should we use? 15,000, 20,000. Let's use 20,000 for a year. 20,000. Let's say you're doing 2-year program. So 2-year will be 40, let's say 40,000. So you have, 40,000 is too expensive. Mostly it ranges from as low as even 15,000. Some programs are very cheap, right? Yeah. So as low as 15,000 to, okay, let's use 30,000, okay, for maybe a 1-year program, a little over 1-year program, or a 2-year program. Let's use 30,000 Canadian dollars. Okay, let's do the calculation. 30,000 Canadian dollars. People who reach out to me, I always tell them that, listen, it's even better to put ×2 or even ×3 or of what you are required to show. So you're doing a program that costs $30,000 for, let's say, a year, 1-year program, plus the 20,600 and something, okay, plus your air ticket. Even with that, 20,000 is for a year. So let's put that together. $30,000 plus, yeah, that would be 50,000 and something. The same amount. So now we have 50,635. Okay, let's add your air ticket, your flight ticket, whatever. Let's put just $3,000. So plus $3,000. That is $53,000. So if you are coming to do a program that is $30,000, this is a minimum of how much you should show in your bank account. This is the minimum. I always say that the more the merrier, okay? And so even if you're able to, if the bank statement is huge, it's a plus for you. It's a plus for you. So it's always advisable that you get a bank statement that is huge, that is more. So $53,000. If you get a bank statement that is $100,000 or even $80,000, is that not good? That is good. That shows that you can take care of yourself even without that is what they want to know. They want to know that it's not as if you are coming to Canada. I mean, obviously everybody wants to get here and find themselves a job. Everybody wants to be able to work to support themselves. But in the worst case scenario, the money you are showing in your bank account can cater for you, for everything, for your tuition, for your living expenses, for the whole time you are in school. Okay, and so if you do all this calculation and it's 50,000 and you're providing 100,000, it means that you are capable. It means that you are capable, even if you do not find a job to do while you're in Canada. But situation. Everybody wants to find a job. I mean, it's good to get a job. But just in case you do not get a job, you can still fund for yourself. Okay, so this is the amount you should be providing. So these are some of the questions that I get. Gina, what are some of the documents? I have listed all the documents just to let you know again. Yeah, obviously you need a passport, you need your admission letter. Let me see what I wrote here. Yeah, you need a passport picture, you need your ID, your Ghana card, you need your letter of explanation. You need your receipt from the payment, the initial deposit you have already made. You need all of that. You need all of that. Yeah. If you can, it's always good to do a police report. It doesn't cost too much. It's advisable that you go and do it. You go to, I'm not sure if now you can go to any region to do a police report, but at the time when I was coming, it was only you had to go to the police headquarters in Accra to get it done. I'm not sure if now it's in all regions, but most people that I guide with the application, they still do it in Accra. So yeah. Okay, and yeah, so it doesn't matter whoever is sponsoring you. If you're sponsoring yourself, you need this amount in your account. If somebody is sponsoring you and the person gives you the bank statement, they should be able to prove that this is where the bank statement is coming from. What do? That is why I mentioned that. Even though, my parents gave me their bank statement, they were able to prove where the money in the account is coming from. My father provided his payslip, okay, to show that he works with this company and this is the amount that is coming into the account every month. Okay, and this is the source of the money. So these are some of the things you should look at. Okay, so if somebody is sponsoring you, let's say an uncle, most of the time you may not be able to prove that, unless of course the person is your real, your real uncle. If the person, let's say my mother's maiden name was this, and my uncle is sponsoring me and he has the same last name, you can provide that information. This is your mom, this is her maiden name, and this is my uncle. Okay, you can even provide pictures that yes. And even when it comes to the things you provide for yourself, let's say you are a farmer, let's say you're a miner, let's say you're a nurse, prove to them beyond reasonable doubts that indeed you have something going on for yourself. You can give them a picture of at a time you were with your client or you were at work, just to prove that this is what you do. If you're a businesswoman and you are always at your office or in your shop, you can provide that. You can take a picture. So this is my business, this is my shop, I am always here. You should, anything that will prove beyond reasonable doubts that indeed this thing is yours, this is what you do. You should just provide it. Okay, so yes. Let me see what I have here. Yeah, business registration, I have talked about it. So if you are doing it for yourself, provide your business registration. Yeah, at the time, this is my business, my mother's business registration. That is my family's business. We provided that. Yeah. Okay, so these are some of the things you have to look out for before you submit your visa application. Now, I am not sure if there's an area that I haven't touched, but if you have any questions, please let me know. Now I'm going to scroll through all the questions you are asking and I will answer them. So again, work permit is the same thing. So you have, let's say you've gotten a job, you've gotten an LMIA job and you're coming to Canada. So guys, I really want you to pay attention to this. When I call people and I am interviewing them, there was a time that I brought my friend and we talked about LMIA jobs. He mentioned the document you need for visa application. Even if you've gotten a job in Canada and you're coming to Canada, you still need to be able to prove that currently that you are wherever you are in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Congo, in South Africa, wherever you are, you still have something going on for yourself. So you should be able to provide your bank statement from the job. You have something doing in Ghana. You have something doing. You go to work every day. You're paid every 2 weeks. You're paid every month. You provide your pay slip or your pay stub. You provide your bank statement to buttress that. Okay, and even you can collect an employment letter from your company. Oh, I have worked with this company for this number of years, and this is what I do. Okay, so you should be able to provide all those things. I wrote something down that I think I would also like to people who come with let's say a loan. For example, the people who are qualified for the Empower loan, okay, you should be able to prove that that you have a loan from a financial institution. Even let's say you have a government scholarship, or you have a scholarship from a particular school. When you're submitting your documents, you should prove that, oh, okay, so I got admission with this school. I have already gotten a scholarship. Even though you have a scholarship, you still need to provide your bank statement. You need to. Sometimes people feel like you got a full scholarship, so you don't need a bank statement. No, you do. You still need to prove a bank statement. You still need to prove that you have something going on for yourself. Okay, yeah. So that is about the about you, people who have Empower loan, or people who have loan from other financial institutions. Okay. Okay, so I'm not talking about this. How long does it take okay, so I always say that it depends. So when you go on the website, mostly it tells you, even for visas application, it tells you how long it's going to take. It tells you. It differs every year. Things change all the time. The website is getting updated and all of that. And so it differs. Sometimes it may take as as long as 4 months. It may take 3 months. It may take 2 months. You know, this crazy season where they were so busy and people, it took like 3 months for people to get response. I picked a lady up from the airport and she told me her visa application just took a month, right? So you can never tell, even though sometimes it is even stated that study visa application or student visa application takes like 3 months, or they'll say maybe 60 days or 90 days. Somebody just told me that hers took, and it was around the same time. She came in September. She came, when did she come? When did I pick her up? Around December. Around December. Yeah, or so. I think November, December. And it took just that a month for her to get a visa, right? So it differs. It differs. So you can never tell. Oh yeah, Ahmed. Thank you, Emmanuel. Hi. Oh, Toby. Hi, Toby. Who else is here? SNIT statement. How does it look like? I've never come across this, but what? So somebody is asking if they can use a SNIT statement. I am not sure what that is. What is the statement? What does the statement say? Is it that, is it like a proof of the fact that you work with SNIT and they pay you? What is that? I don't know what that is. I have never come across that, so I can't say. Yeah. So with a bank statement, I am telling you that any relevant information you can add to that. This is your year. Amen. Okay, let's look at this. Yeah, you always need to provide bank statements. You always need to provide bank statements. Oh, where did we get to? Okay, so Adam, I already answered your question. I have, yeah, you probably have to go back and watch this video because I have talked about all of that. All right. So, guys, that will be it for today. If you have any questions, let me know. But did I forget anything? Yeah, so proof of business asset, proof of payment of your tuition and accommodation. Yes, that you can provide for yourself. That is the 23,000 that we mentioned. Yeah, a letter from the person or the institution providing you with the money. Yes, that is what I mentioned at the time. It was my parents who were sponsoring me, and so there was a letter that I went to type, and they put a seal on it. My both family, my mom, my daddy, myself, we all signed. So that's that. Okay, so you fill your family information, the IMM information, you complete that as well. Okay, so guys, if you do not have any questions, that will be it for today. I am not sure if I have left something out, but I can always come back. Yeah, so this video is for visa application. Okay, let's see this one. Let's see this one. No. Listen, it doesn't matter if you're sponsoring yourself or somebody is sponsoring you. So far as the statement you're providing is good, and if you're sponsoring yourself, it's okay. Probably you've been working in the last 10 years. You've been able to save this huge amount for yourself. The only thing you need to do is to prove. The only thing you need to do is to provide proof that this is what you do. If you have a business, your business certificate. If you're working with a company, the company offer letter, your pay slip or your pay stub. Okay, so you just need to provide evidence of the source of income. Okay, why do you have this huge amount coming in your account? You work with a company and maybe you have a side business that you do. You should provide everything. Okay, you should provide enough evidence. That's all you need. That is all you need. Yeah, Stephen Mensah. Yeah, so okay, so guys, I think that's it for today, unless you have any more questions, but if not, that will be it for today. So take note of this. So everything you can put together, everybody's situation is different, like I mentioned. So a young person in their youth and just came from high school, you don't expect much from them. If it's their parents that are sponsoring them, they need to provide all these documents and also a proof that these things belong to them. Okay, if you're an adult, maybe 25 and up, 24, 22, and you've been out of school in the last 2 years or even a year, you graduated school in 2020. We are in 2024. From 2020 to 2024, what have you been doing? That's one thing that I just remembered. Your national service, certificate. It is very important. I am talking from experience. So if you are doing a visa application and you graduated from tertiary and you have done your national service, please add, let them know that you have worked for a year. The national service is considered as a work experience. This is very important because in the future, when you're doing your permanent, in the future, when you have arrived in Canada, you have completed your studies, and you have worked for a year, and you want to apply for your permanent resident, it is needed. Okay, it is very much needed. It is important that you provide that information. And so your national service is very important to add it. So you know that when you do your national service, we have a national service certificate, right? You can add your national service certificates that, yes, you know, you need to state the, you know, your work experience and all of that. So your national service certificate, okay, let me put this away. So your national service certificate, your ID. During my time, we're given a national service ID. I'm not sure if it's still, people are still getting that here, but if you have an ID, you can provide that. Yeah, so you have 1 year experience. Even if you're not able to provide anything, let's say you graduated from school and you started your visa application or your school application process, and you got admission and you are doing your national service, and you during that time you are doing your visa application. You just graduated from school, you are still doing your national service, you haven't even completed, but you can still provide, at least, is there a proof that you're getting paid from your national service? Yes, you can provide that. Okay, so yeah, if I have enough in my account to, oh no, you don't need a, I mean, if you have enough, as you were saying, if you have enough, then you don't necessarily need a sponsor. Me at the time, I didn't have kobo. I didn't have kobo in my account, okay? I didn't have anything. So my parents sponsored me. If you've been working for a very long time and you don't need a sponsor, you have all that money in your account, then you don't need a sponsor. If you have $80,000 in your account, if you have $100,000 in your account, that is good money to show for yourself. Okay, so you don't necessarily need a sponsor. Okay, please can I use? Oh, okay, so with the work permit, I always advise that you first get to Canada as a student, and then while you're here, then you bring in your family, your nuclear family, your wife, your kids, if you have one, right? Because when you are applying as a student and you provide bank statement, it's for you, okay? It's for just one person, one applicant. If you want to add, let's say you have a wife and 2 kids, if you want to add all these people in your current application, it means the bank statement should be more to cover everybody. Okay, so I have friends who had family back home. They got here, and few months down the line, they applied for their nuclear, their wife and their kids. Okay, so it is always advisable to come here first. And in this case, when you are applying for them, you need your own statement. You have family, yourself, your wife. Okay, so yeah, I am not sure if I have answered your question, but yeah, that's it. Concerning spousal. Oh, it's the same question. Okay, so I have answered this question. Okay, so Nancy, I believe I have answered your question. All right, so now that will be it for today. We have spent 45 minutes, so I'm going to leave you alone. Thank you so much. If you have more questions, comment below. When I get a time or when I get a chance and I look through the comments, I will answer your questions. Again, my name is Gina Amy, and this is my page. I am on Facebook. I am on YouTube, guys. Please kindly subscribe to my YouTube. If you are currently watching, please like this video and share so that somebody else can see my videos. Thank you so much for your support. Every one of you who always like my posts, you comment and all of that. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for your time today. I'm going to leave you for now. Bye bye. Take care.